Hold on, let me get something to drink first. Alright, so I just watched Star Wars Resistance Episode 4, The High Tower, and this one follows Kaz as he's actually dealing with the First Order for the first time since the very first episode. And in this particular episode, Kaz begins to believe that Captain Doza, the head honcho of the station that he's at, is basically in cahoots with the First Order, and he basically tries to figure out a little bit more of what's going on. And in fact, the First Order, does arrive, and he gets into all sorts of trouble with them. And we get introduced, or reintroduced, I should say, to characters that we saw back in the first episode, such as the Red Stormtrooper. The Red Stormtrooper that we saw at the very beginning of the first episode. He's back, and it seems that he's going to be a reoccurring character, as well as we see Kaz's relationship with some of his teammates grow, and we see a relationship building between him and Captain Doza's daughter, who he raced against in the very first episode. So this episode really dealt with a lot of relationships with Kaz and other characters, and I really enjoyed that because we hadn't been getting that in the other ones. Last episode focused a little bit more on his relationship with Yeager, and Yeager wasn't in this episode actually, so I was just glad to see there was some stuff happening between him and the team because we hadn't really been getting that, and I really enjoyed that. But overall, I thought this was a really fun episode. It's definitely the best episode since the first episode. I don't know if it's better or worse than it, but it's just a really fun episode that kept me engaged. There's a good chase sequence with a lot of shooting going on. It's a really good one that I think if you haven't gotten into the show by now, this episode might sway you a little bit, but I'm not sure. This was just a fun episode, and I'm gonna continue sticking with the show because I don't know. I feel like this episode really felt like a stepping off point of basically becoming something a little bit better than what it was originally. Sorry about that, I heard something. But yeah, I really like what this episode did and it set out to do, and it made the world just so much more interesting as we see that Captain Doza, who is the head honcho, as I said, of this station, might be in cahoots with the First Order. And I think that's really interesting that there's somebody in the higher ups that's dealing with them. I also like the dynamic that they have where basically the poor and the downtrodden live in the lower levels of this station, whereas the rich live in the high tower. I mean, it's something that's been done to death, but I do really like that they're dealing with this, and I hope it can be developed farther because this really shows that I think this show has a lot of promise, and it's really fulfilling on that promise because the first episode was really good. The second episode, I just rewatched it and I really liked it. And then last episode was alright, but this one really showed that I think this show has potential to be really good and just a really fun show overall. But yeah, that's all I really thought about the episode. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see more, of course. So you'll be seeing more from me soon, hopefully next week. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next vlog.